Alice, thank you so much for joining me today for the League of Goddesses Spotlight. I am so excited to introduce you to the women of the League.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
Well, me too. Okay, so I know you're familiar with the MO on these. The first few questions are super easy and fast, and I'll start off right there. And then, of course, as we move on down, it will be a little bit more intriguing and intense. So my first question is, do you have a nickname?
My sister and my best friend call me Al.
Oh, I like it. Do you like it? Or are you just kind of like, eh?
I like it from them only. A few other times people have said it. I'm like, you can't call me that.
That is not for you.
And then in college, I was called Sully. My last name's Sullivan. So, yeah.
Oh, I like it. I like Al, but I won't call you it until I get allowed to. Super cute. Okay, so now can you tell me your birthday?
October 18th.
Oh, nice. Okay. And then this question, it wasn't one that we previously asked before, but somebody brought it up and I was like, that's a really good idea. Can you tell us what city and state you live in?
Oh, Nashville, Tennessee.
Awesome. I think it'll be nice because then when the other goddesses watch the videos, they can be like, oh, she's here by me. And then maybe make it easier to connect. So,
oh my gosh, yes, please. After COVID, everybody come and we'll go to the Jack Daniel's distillery. It'll be
girl,
great.
I know. I actually have been there and it was so much fun. I loved it. And you don't realize how cool it is until you get there and you get to exploring it. You're like, wow, this is really unique. Right. So maybe we should make a league event out there and just we'll all just come to you.
That's
wonderful. Okay, so we do know you're a Jack Daniel's girl, but are you a coffee or a tea girl?
I am a tea girl.
A tea girl. Nice. Do you have a favorite?
You know, I like lavender and chamomile.
Those are good ones. Those are good ones. Okay, so now tell me, if you could only pick one, would it be a book, podcast, or a blog?
A book.
Book. I don't know why it is, but it's like all of us in the league are book girls, and I love it because I'm just like, great, now I don't feel so weird smelling books.
No, it's perfect. I mean, that's what I do for a living too, so that's an easy answer.
Nice, beautiful. Okay, so since you're a book girl, tell me, what is your favorite book of all time? Like, if you could only take one with you on a deserted island, which one would it be?
You know, I think The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein was my favorite and still is today because it's the first book where I understood what empathy means.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, and that's really important in what I do day to day. So I love that story. It's beautiful, but it's also very complex. So like you read it, you think one way as a kid, and then when you reread it as an adult, you really understand what all of the giving means.
I got it. I've never read the book, but do you feel like you were an empathetic person before reading the book and that just helped you to be more empathetic? Yeah.
I think so. I think I was just, it was the first time that I had seen it explained.
I see. I like that. Now I'm going to have to pick it up because I'm curious. So yes. Thank you for sharing that one. And now can you tell me, is there a book that you're into right now that is just phenomenal and you're reading it right now and would love to share it with the ladies?
Yes, but I don't have the title yet. So I'm actually working on a book right now that is, I should say they're all my favorite because I work on them. But this one in particular, and I'll tell you why. So it's a psychologist who's writing his memoir, but also pairing it with the science behind why you react the way you do and think the way you do, especially as a child going through difficulties. And again, I think it's unique in his field to have the personal story along with the science. And I think for people who have tried different modalities of therapy but still felt like something was missing, this is going to help solve that puzzle of what's missing and how you can find healing.
Yeah. That is now I'm excited about this book too, but that is such a unique thing because you're right. There have been times when I've gone to a traditional counselor and it's like, I know I should be moving forward and I don't want to discuss this anymore. So I'm missing a click. Like there's something that hasn't clicked. And there was a counselor that I had that I really loved and he's an awesome guy, but I had to switch because I was like, whatever it is, as awesome as he is, there's something I'm missing and he doesn't have any more puzzle pieces to give me. So you have to move on and find and for me, that was forgiveness, but really learning, not just saying it, really learning how to forgive in that understanding that sometimes it's every day. You might have to forgive someone multiple times for the same thing, just anytime it pops up. So that's really cool. And I cannot wait till you have a title. So you'll have to share it with us when you do. And it really leads me into my next question, which is, can you tell us the name of your business and a little bit about it?
Yes. So my business is Alice Sullivan Literary LLC. I am a nonfiction ghostwriter, which means I write books for other people, primarily memoirs and business leadership and sometimes self-help, personal development.
I love it. I'm just so curious now. So tell me, what got you into this and where did you start off and how did it end up to be this?
Well, so I was always the kid who was reading 1 million books a summer, and I was always helping my friends with their essays. Writing and telling stories has always been so natural to me, so that when I got into college, I was doing the same thing. I was tutoring my friends, and when I graduated, one of my professors hired me to work on his material, and that was the first time that I realized, oh, somebody pays me for this? I can get paid to read and edit and help people tell their stories. And so I took a job at a local publishing house and really moved up through the ranks. And they taught me pretty much everything foundational about book publishing, how to write, how to edit, how to tell a story, also how to market. And then it's been 12 years ago now that I went out on my own as a freelancer. And so now this is all I do. I get to pick and choose, which is amazing. So I just help people tell their stories all day long, and I freaking love it.
Alice, that is phenomenal. Like listening to you, I can feel your vibrations of how much you love it, and it makes me excited. I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. I like to say a serial entrepreneur just because that's what I enjoy, is like business and getting to know businesses and what really makes people tick. So would it be safe to say that your business is your bliss? Like that is just what you absolutely love? Or is there something else that's your bliss?
You know, there are certainly days where it is. There's a lot of admin stuff, which I have to say I don't love as much, but my bliss truly is travel and experiencing other cultures.
Oh, fun. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Like, yes. What would be the perfect bliss trip for you?
I would like to go back to Bali. So I went to Bali in 2016 for 2 months, and I taught a writing workshop. And
can I just ask, how does that even happen? You're like, I'm just going to go to Bali and teach for 2 months. How does that even, the connection happen?
It was kind of serendipitous. So I was editing for a literary agency and doing some writing for them. And one of their clients, I got linked with him and I worked on his book. And then towards the end of the process, he said, you know, I'm doing this workshop in Bali and we need one more writing coach. I really like how you handled my book. Are you interested? And I was like, yes, let's go. So that's how it happened. And I loved it. And I mean, we can't travel there yet, but I'm hoping very soon it'll open up again. But the culture is beautiful. The food is incredible. The people are amazing. It was just a beautiful experience. And even the long flight is really not that bothersome because you know where you're going. And it's totally worth it. So I'd love to go back there.
Okay, well, when you do, I'd love to go with you. I feel like everyone that I talk to, I'm just like, oh, on your next trip, I want to go too.
Right. Well,
so just tag myself along.
You're going to be on some amazing vacations this year. I feel it.
Oh, I appreciate that. And I hope so. I've kind of been looking at a couple. Do you know Dr. Joe Dispenza?
Yes.
With him? Okay. I mean, I don't personally know him, but I had a trip booked with, his company last October to Hawaii. And then, everything that happened. And so they ended up canceling it. But this year I was on his site actually yesterday looking and seeing like what is available. And there's so many, he does his events at such cool places, but I guess everything's kind of at 25% capacity right now. So I'm just putting my name on every waiting list.
That's very smart.
Yeah.
Hawaii would be incredible. I've never been there either, but it's on the list for sure.
Yeah, I actually ended up going in, I think it was August, for Bliss Champions, which was another group that I was involved in. And it was, what I saw of Hawaii was gorgeous, but we were like literally locked down to the resort that we were in. So we couldn't leave. I'll definitely be going back because I feel like I didn't really get to explore it. So I'd like to do that. But from what I did see, I think you would have fun.
Awesome.
Great. Okay. So now tell me, I'm going to switch a little bit. Why did you join the league? I'm curious.
So I joined the league because actually one of my business mentor, Zlata, is part of the league, and she spoke so highly of it, and I thought, I'm going to check this out. So working with her, has been life-changing, truly. Like this last year, 2020, I know that 2020 has been difficult for a lot of people, and it was for me as well, but also the biggest year of personal growth that I've ever experienced, and also my biggest financial year for my business. So it's just been amazing. But I have been looking more and more about joining and finding intentional community that is uplifting, and that's what really piqued my interest about the league.
Lovely. Do you think that you have found what you were looking for there?
You know what? I feel like I haven't fully dove into the waters just yet. So I'm kind of a lurker at this point. And everything that I've seen, I'm like, yeah, I totally get that. So yes, it's going to be a very fun experience. Sort of, I think I should just dig back through all the posts and just sort of catch myself up.
Yeah.
I do want to become more intentional about the community.
More active. So we just posted our very first Goddess Gazette and I don't know if you saw it or not, but it is a summary of all of 2020. So the league started in April. And if you read that we kind of made it like a newspaper because we all like that old school vibe. But if you read that, then you'll have a really good summary of, hey, what happened in 2020 and then where are we going for 2021?
Oh, perfect.
So because 2021 is definitely going to be a big year for the league. I'm looking forward to all of the new formatting and really just helping women connect. I think that we have some really good examples of what your network can do for you, especially by watching guys. And I watch them in business all day, every day. And I'm like, these dudes, they sure know how to use the network. Granted, they've been doing it for thousands of years, right? So it's like, I'm going to steal all of your tricks and give them to all the women I know. So hopefully that's what happens this year. That being said, can you tell me what you hoped to attain from the League of Goddesses?
Yes. So I'm hoping to gain some education because I'm certain that even though I've been in business for 12 years, there's a million things I still don't know about all areas. So education, inspiration, and information, really.
Nice. So would you, if I said that you were looking for tactical information too, would I be hitting the nail on the head there?
Yeah.
Business tactics. Okay, great. So like that is part of what we're doing this year. We're doing quarterly live events and they're going to be very tactical. So I think that we have a really good format for the online where women are getting a lot of emotional and mental support and love and care and, lifting up in there, but we also need the tactical side of it. And that's kind of more my MO anyway. I'm like, the tactical portion. So for me, that's easy. But I was like, we need to have events where they can come, learn, game plan for the next quarter, and then really have follow through and support to get those things done to move their businesses forward. So
that's perfect. I think that's exactly what I'm looking for too, because, I've done what I've done for 12 years and it's gotten me here. But doing the exact same things will not get me further. Yeah. So I'm looking to. Yeah.
Well, lovely. So the information on all of that tactical stuff is also in that newsletter. So sounds like you should log on and read that. Hopefully it will be what you're looking for. Okay. So that being said, now can you tell me, what do you hope to be able to contribute to the league? What is your special gift that you feel like you could offer there?
Well, storytelling is a gift of mine. So, I think I'm also a really good listener and I'm a good person for logical advice. I try to kind of get out of my emotional head a lot when I'm listening and responding to somebody's posts. They need help in some area. And so I would love to be a resource however I can, whether that's just listening and supporting, encouraging, or also giving practical advice around, how to handle relationships. Also, a lot of what I do is negotiating, how to help people feel safe in telling their truth and helping them feel seen through difficult times. So anything having to do with, story or truth telling, I would love to be a resource.
That's beautiful. I love it. And I think that probably one of the most special gifts you can give someone is seeing them, so many times, even myself, so many times I feel misunderstood. I'm just like, oh my God, am I speaking like Martian? Why is it so difficult? But when you really think about it, we all have such different experiences and backgrounds. It doesn't matter if we're using the same words. That doesn't mean we fully understand. So what a beautiful talent and gift to share. Okay, so my next question is, who is important in your life?
Oh, my family. My family is hugely important. My mom is incredible, and I have a brother and sister who are 4 years younger, and they're twins. So we're pretty tight. We, COVID and all, but we try and see each other, or did, about once a week. We go out to family dinner still, which is awesome because I'm 41 and my brother and my sister are 37. And so like to still be that close, and not like smotheringly so,
Yeah.
We just really enjoy each other's company. We're all totally different personalities, totally different careers, but I think we probably appreciate each other more now than we did when we were in college and high school. I can tell you that.
I think that's beautiful. And I so relate to you because there's 6 of us in my family. And when we get together, it is such a blast, except that we wear our spouses out. Like, by midnight, they're all going to bed and we're like, we'll be up soon, 3 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it really unique how when you have a good family, as you guys age, you're right, you do appreciate them so much more. Like, wow, I mean, I loved you when you were a little annoying kid, but now you're awesome and we can really share in these experiences together. Yeah, it's super cool. Oh, well, that's nice. I'm glad you have a good family. Okay, so my next question is, and this is always a unique question for me, it's what dream would you like to share about that you've made come true? And it could be either a dream of your own or maybe a dream that you helped facilitate for someone else.
The biggest one recently, because 2020 was such a big year for me, I actually bought my mom a car, which, yay. But we had been talking for years. So my mom was a single mom and put all 3 of us through college, went back to school to get a degree, I don't know how she did it because I don't think I would have been that strong. And so anyway, she was still driving a super, super old car that was literally falling apart. And the mechanic was like, if you bring it back one more time, I'm going to set it on fire. But she just kept on like, oh, it's fine. It works. And I thought, what if we just get you a new car? So my brother and my sister and I actually, we joined together and got her a car for Thanksgiving. And it was beautiful and also touching because, of course, she wasn't expecting it and she cried. But I'm like, Mom, you deserve nice things. You put us all through college and none of us have been in jail yet. Like, you should feel accomplished.
Good job.
Right.
Oh, I love that. That's a beautiful dream to make come true for someone, even if they didn't know it was a dream. How sweet. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that one was beautiful. Now my next question is, what does your heart desire most at this time?
To be married. I would love to meet somebody wonderful and have a family. I feel like I hate to say that's missing. That's the one experience I have not yet had as somebody who has been very driven in my career.
Mm-hmm.
I have not always chosen well. And so, yeah, I would really like to meet my person this year and have a family.
That's so beautiful. And when you just said that, I got goosebumps everywhere. So I'm not saying I'm intuitive or anything, but I'm just saying it felt really good when you said it. I'm like, oh, that would be nice. I'll keep that in my prayers for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think having a spouse, and I've done, I did a trial run and really messed up the first time. The second time, I think I got it right. It's never perfect the first time, but I will say that having your best friend with you all the time, it's almost all the time super lovely. And then just there's maybe 5 or 10% where you're like, I'm chill. And then, that week passes and you're good again.
Yeah.
But it can be a lot of fun. And so
sounds great. I mean, the people I know who have, of course, I only know what they tell me, right? But it just looks like so much fun to be able to have these experiences and, get to travel the world or just get to go down the street and eat your favorite Mexican restaurant with somebody who gets you.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm sure that there is a perfect significant other out there for you. And I think you're right. To me, probably the most valuable part, if I had to put it in words, is knowing that I had my best friend there. It's like you can weather so many things if you feel understood and loved. And it's like, I mean, you don't have to have it. You can live without it. It's totally fine. But with, it's like such an added bonus. So
Yeah.
I'm going to include that in my universe prayers for you, Alice.
Thank you.
I know. I think Solana's working on that this year too. So you two can really just like ramp up your prayers together on that one. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. That was so deep. Like that was a big one. I enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Okay, so now tell me, if you were not Alice, but you were one of Alice's friends, explaining how you are or who you are to another girlfriend, what would you say about you?
How I am? Oh, heck. Well, from what other people have said, I guess I'll say that. They say that I'm really encouraging. I'm a logical thinker. I'm really good with advice. And I have some really good one-liners. I have some dumb jokes. And I have a good ability of saying like a really funny, awkward thing at just the perfect time to make somebody snort water.
Oh, I'm going to remember that about you then, because I'm going to be like, don't let her talk when I'm drinking. Dude, one time I literally took a sip of water and I was pregnant or it wasn't water. I don't remember what I was drinking, but it wasn't water. And my ex-father-in-law was sitting across from me and said something so funny. I spit it all over his face. And I was just like, I'm so mortified at a restaurant. And ever since then, like if somebody says something funny, I'm just like, where's my drink? Because that was horrible. And I could see you making me do that. So thank you for the warning. Just like, is she going to say something?
Oh, I love it. I think that's what people would say about me. I hope it anyway.
That's awesome. I love it. I think that sounds like someone that almost everybody would want to have as a friend. So great.
Available.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Okay, so now tell me, this is where the questions start to get a little bit more in depth. And if you need some extra time, by all means, what vision do you have for the future of humanity? If you could just make any of your dreams come true about it, what would it be?
Well, it sounds cliche, but I would say some form of unity would be nice. I would love to be for there to be more cures for illnesses. I would love for mental health to be even more talked about and recognized and normalized. I would like for the suicide rate to go down. I would love for the pollution to decrease. There's a whole bunch of things. I think my deepest desire is especially for little kids to know that they are valuable and worthy and loved, so that when they grow up to adults, they don't carry the gaps, the holes that a lot of childhood stuff can leave. Yeah.
Oh, that one's beautiful. I think that one touched my heart so much. And it's so true. And I don't think that we think about it quite often enough or quite frequently, that they see the world differently. And if we can help them see how loved and special they are, I think we could prevent a lot of future issues. So that one's beautiful. I love it. Can you tell me if that dream that you have affects your decision-making process and the way that you operate?
I think it has. I think a lot of my formative years have, created my personalities and my quirks now. I'm a very driven person towards truth telling, which of course helps in my career. And so in my interactions with other people, in my interactions with a wider world, I'm very focused on telling the truth, whatever that may be, telling the story, saying the hard things so that there's reconciliation. So I would say, yes, that does pretty much drive. It drives my career, of course, sitting at my desk, typing and doing administrative stuff. I don't know that there's so much of that in there other than I have a desire to be right. I have a desire for justice. And when I'm wrong, which I am, I think it's important to acknowledge that and apologize so that there's no tension in the relationship.
Beautiful. I love it. Can you tell me if you've implemented any actions into your business to help bring that vision that you have in your mind for the world into fruition?
Coaching has been a big one. I think, especially last year, and I mentioned it was a really big year. I think I haven't done my taxes yet for last year, but I feel as though I probably spent 30 or 40,000 on coaching just because I felt like now is the time, I've got the resources. I'm ready for the next level. Let's do it. And so a lot of the coaching has been, whether it's business coaching or personal coaching, has been around changing patterns, sort of rewiring the brain so that I can, of course, do more and feel more confident, but so that I can let go of whatever lies I've been telling myself about myself for years and years. So again, that's sort of the through line of truth telling and being seen and vulnerable and telling story. So coaching has been a big thing. Sort of unrelated, but I know it will be helpful, is that I'm actually in the process of hiring a personal assistant because I am certain that having somebody who has a better skill set than I do of doing the admin stuff to free me up to do what I truly love will help me grow faster, probably.
Oh, not probably. You're very right. Yeah, that's a huge thing that I like to teach and share on is time value and what your value is, and finding the things that you're an 8, 9, or a 10 at, and making sure that that's where your energy is focused. And then all the other little things, lining them out to someone else who it's their 8, 9, or 10, but also is economically better suited to do that. So it's a very intriguing thought process. And I know it took me getting hit on the head with being inefficient with my money and time to realize, whoa, I'm costing the company money by not doing this.
Yeah.
So if you could make, 50% more because you hired someone that's $15 an hour, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, you'd be crazy not to, right?
Right.
And you'd be more happy because you're operating in your 8s, 9s, and 10s, not in the admin stuff which you don't like.
Right.
So good for you. I know it's a hard lesson to learn. So yes, it's very, because you see the checks you're writing for it and you're like, is this really going to pay off? But coming from someone who's been there, done it, I promise you it will. So you'll be like, why didn't I do this sooner? That's how I always feel. So yeah, totally awesome, dude. That's awesome. Okay. So my last question is, if you could share one piece of advice or a tip that someone gave you that just rocked your world, maybe shifted your paradigm, what would that be?
Always put 30% away for taxes.
So true. It's so true. I mean, that is a nasty thing to pop out at you if you haven't done it. So you're right.
You know what? I didn't do that in my early career, and I have learned. And I know it's not sexy, like taxes are not sexy, but the feeling of having that covered and actually, getting the refund.
Yeah.
Is nice.
It's better than the other. When I met not when I met my husband, when we, I guess, finally got engaged or whatever, I was looking through his paperwork and I was like, have you not filed your taxes? He hadn't filed them for 2 years and it was going on the 3rd. And he was like, they owe me money. It doesn't matter. And I was like, that's not how that works. And we laugh about that now, but I'm just like, oh dear. Yeah, I'm a little bit more tiki dot and, all my I's dotted and T's crossed. So, but yes, that could be one that would bite you in the ass if you don't take care of it. So
totally. I feel like the sooner you get the financial foundation set, the better it will be for you in the long run.
I couldn't agree more. And it also builds on itself. It's like a snowball. So as long as you have the right pieces from the beginning, even if it's little, as it continues to grow, your mentality about responsibility and the way things are handled will just go along with it. Usually, at least from my point of view, works out well. So awesome piece of advice. All right. Well, Alice, I had such a great time getting to know you. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me and just open yourself up to the ladies of the league. I am sure that they're going to be thrilled to get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course. I'll talk to you later. Bye, Alice.
Bye.
Have a good one.